What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike, and today I'm coming at you from my super sneaky, stealthy ninja location. Check it out. I found a building to park behind in the shade while I eat my lunch, which is that. I've got about 5 ounces of chicken with pasta salad. Maybe security will come back here and make a cameo appearance on this little test video. I'm trying to get into the swing of shooting content during the day while I'm on the road. Today has been a phenomenal day. I cannot tell you how great I feel today. I got a good night's sleep last night and got to get up and get into territory and start making promising progress. And so this is actually my first full day, I think, completely on my own, and I cannot tell you how much better it feels to be back to my schedule. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and I'm on the road right now, so like if you care to look at this data, look it up yourself. But apparently, hamburgers contain Dbol. That's right. This may come as a shock to many of you who've been eating hamburgers your entire life like me and not getting jacked or having any signs or symptoms of Dbol. But according to the Chinese Anti-Doping Association, if you've been following the Olympics, you may have heard this news. 2 years ago, 2 of their athletes tested positive for Dbol. And supposedly there was a big investigation to determine whether or not they were going to be banned from the sport. And typically when you get banned for doping, you get like a 4-year ban. Well, I think it's called Chinata, which is like their WADA, their anti-doping association or whatever it's called, did an supposedly extensive investigation and determined that the athletes were actually not doping intentionally. They managed to come into contact with tainted Dbol tainted hamburgers. So be aware. Apparently somewhere, I don't know if this is in China, I don't know where they were at when they got tested, but apparently somebody somewhere is putting Dbol into the hamburgers. Maybe this explains why it is that we've got guys like Jeff Nippard and Mike O'Hearn and all of these various names in the bodybuilding industry who claim natty and clearly aren't. Maybe they're not lying. Maybe they just happen to be getting dosed by the local, see, I'm not even gonna say any names because then I'll get sued. But maybe the local burger joint has been running a scam on these guys and is dropping a little Dbol or a little Trenbolone into the mix when they get their, supersized value meal. It's like, what is the point of even having an anti-doping association or whatever they call it if you're just going to make up bullshit excuses for why the athletes tested dirty? Obviously, these guys were doping. Nobody put. I mean, how did they even come to this conclusion? Like, I would love to see the data from this investigation that was done. That determined that tracked down this tainted hamburger beef or patties that they supposedly got into contact with. It's completely asinine. There was another gymnast, actually. Those were swimmers, I think, Chinese swimmers who were using Dbol. The only reason it's even remotely believable is, like, of all the things you would take, why would it be Dbol? If you're an athlete. But apparently one of the Romanian, I think it was Romanian, maybe Ukrainian, I can't remember what they're European, whitish, who knows. All the manias, I can't keep up with all these European countries. I think it was Ukraine. This guy failed a drug test in 2022 as well, but he appealed, so it should have kept him out of the Olympic Games, but he appealed it, and they too determined that he had accidentally ingested this drug. I should have thought of the name. Maybe somebody is also following the Olympics. Maybe Kavalser will see this video and drop it in the comments. I may do it later after I post it. It's like tears. It's like it starts with a T. It's got some Z's in it and some P's. They should narrow it down, right? I don't know what it is. It's some kind of like blood pressure med or something. It has something to do with the heart and its ability to get oxygen, I think from red blood cells. And so this has been a hot topic in these Olympic Games because a lot of these cardio athletes are getting popped for using it. This guy got popped for it. I forget all of the athletes who've gotten popped, but the thing that's, again, that just, it makes the entire thing a farce is every single one of the athletes who have tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug that I am aware of have, the anti-doping league has either decided that it was an accidental ingestion or otherwise, that's it. Like, one of the investigations determined that the athlete did not intentionally take the performance-enhancing drug. I think it was a girl in this case, but she had eaten a meal where meat was cut up on a chopping block, where her father, who took this particular heart medicine, had crushed up his pills at another time. This is the story they're trying to, this is the degree to which this entire situation is a total unimaginable farce. So we're going to say that this girl had a testable amount of this heart medication that she accidentally ingested, which is a known performance-enhancing drug, because her father or grandfather, I forget who it was, happened to have been taking it, and residue from his meds got onto a chopping block that he used to prepare her spaghetti or whatever it was. Like, what's that noise? Uh-oh. We may be getting ready to get a cameo appearance. I'm hearing a horn beeping repeatedly while I'm behind this building. So anyway, maybe I should cut this short, but I just thought it was interesting that, oh, it's a train going by. I thought it was interesting that we go to all of these, supposedly the World Anti-Doping Agency goes to all these links to ensure that the games are not being tainted by performance-enhancing drugs. And then in every instance that I've seen thus far during these Olympic Games, where there was a report of somebody who tested dirty, it was later determined that they didn't really actually intend to partake of the drug. And this is not completely uncommon in sports. There have been cases where, Dbol, for example, was found in somebody's bloodstream, and then they tied it back to some over-the-counter supplement that the company was inadvertent, that the company was dumping Dbol into the mix, trying to get, their supplement to actually work, because obviously no over-the-counter bodybuilding supplement works. So if you find one that does, I think Blackstone Labs may have been one of the companies that got put out of business for doing this. They were dropping anabolics into their supplements that were not being, going through the regular FDA approval process. This has also happened not infrequently with drugs like Viagra and Cialis. There have been multiple cases of where somebody got a hold of Viagra or Cialis in some over-the-counter format. Sometimes they're found in these like little shady ghetto grocery store, like corner stores. There's all kinds of ways to get a hold of this crap. And so ultimately these athletes are allowed to continue to compete. The thing that's crazy that all of us as bodybuilders know is that even a 4-year ban, I mean, obviously, given the fact that most Olympians are very young, and a 4-year ban could effectively be a career ban for them, depending on their sport. But if you use performance-enhancing drugs at any point in your life, you are never going to be natty again. So let's say that they decided to start Masters Olympics next, we're going to add like a Masters division to the Olympics, and now I'm going to go out and try to compete and, shot put or some crap, and I decide to get off all the gear that I'm on to test so that I can test negative for the games, I'm still not going to be a legitimately natural athlete, because I have developed considerably more mass than my body was intended to hold. I would probably hold a lot of it. If I did it right, I could probably get off anabolics, hold on to and be clean long enough to test, to not test positive, but still be carrying an unnatural amount of muscle. The muscle just doesn't disappear because you get off anabolics. That's a complete myth. And so these anti-doping committees, agencies are really just a total joke. This is not the first time this has happened. There have been multiple times where, the Russians, the Germans, somebody had an entire group of athletes that were using anabolics. Famously, I think it was the Russians that used Dbol back in the 80s, and they turned half their women into men, which is one of the things people always say, oh, Dbol is safe for women. Yeah, no, it's not. Try that and see what happens to you. So anyway, I just wanted to shoot this little quick content. It's about 12:59. I need to get back to work. But I wanted to crank out some kind of content today. We're going to the gym tonight. We decided to skip yesterday, but today has been a much better day. So I'm gonna go hit arms up tonight, and I'm just really feeling life again now to be back on a regular schedule. So hopefully I'll have continuous content coming out like this. Maybe multiple times a day. We'll just see how it goes. So as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.